President Trump this weekend escalated tensions against Colombia, country in South America that has for a long time been a close partner with the United States.
They are a drug manufacturing machine, Colombia.
He said that he was going to end assistance aid to Colombia's government, and then he accused Colombia's president, Gustavo Petro, of being an illegal drug leader, as Trump put it.
Colombia is out of control, and now they have the worst president they've ever had. He's a lunatic who's got a lot of problems, mental problems.
This is a big change in policy for the United States because these two countries have been very close in many different ways, allies in the war on drugs. Colombia has been the largest producer of cocaine for many years. There was a period of years where, with U.S. help, Colombia was able to dramatically reduce the amount of coca and the amount of cocaine the country was producing. The U.S. has, since 2000, spent more than $14 billion here. The United States provides training, they provide intelligence, which is very significant and very important for Colombian forces to be able to target drug traffickers that the United States wants. But President Juan Santos ended what was aerial fumigation with herbicides of coca leaf. And what happened was the amount of coca in this country began to dramatically increase. This has continued under Petro. There have been some dramatic increases in coca and in cocaine production under his rule. Probably the most significant thing that he's done is he has tried to begin negotiations with various armed groups to bring them into the fold, to do a peace process with each of them simultaneously and have them lay down their arms and stop producing cocaine. That hasn't worked. When the Colombian government has declared ceasefires to try to get these groups involved in peace talks, these groups have actually just increasingly recruited fighters, used the money from drugs to strengthen their forces and so forth. But right now, things are very tense. Trump has been talking a lot about drugs lately, and then he takes these incredibly aggressive actions against Venezuela. Petro was critical of that. He said that one of the crew members in one of the boats that was blown up was a Colombian. Said he was a fisherman, said he wasn't a drug trafficker. So there was a lot of friction there. This weekend, Trump comes out with his missive against Colombia on Truth Social, saying that he's going to cut off aid to Colombia.
And I'm stopping all payments to Colombia because they don't have anything to do with their fight against drugs.
Calling a foreign leader a drug trafficker, in essence, is not really a normal thing, especially when you don't have proof that that is the case. And for Petro, his approval ratings in Colombia have been in the 30s. He's had a very rocky 3 years since being elected. He will certainly try to squeeze this for all it's worth politically. There are a lot of people in Latin America who are suspicious of the United States. So this is something he could use to marshal up his base and get support ahead of next year's election. I think for the United States, this is also quite tricky because if you're actually going to try to stop the flow of drugs from South America, you need partners, you need allies. You can't do it on your own because these aren't giant warehouses that you can just bomb and stuff. These are little jungle camps here and there all over the country and then moved by all kinds of different groups. So it's very, very difficult for the Colombian military and the Colombian police to really crack down on this. But if there's a break with the United States, then what's going to happen to the war on drugs? Because certainly demand for cocaine is very high in the United States, in Europe, and other places. And if there's a demand, there's always going to be somebody who's going to supply it.